It looks like the race for Mathys Tel is between Manchester United and Tottenham, as the player does not want Chelsea, and it's believed Arsenal want a more experienced player. Now, Tel's preference is United, but Tottenham are willing to do a permanent deal. Now, Ornstein says that Bayern are willing to do loan deals. So, what is the latest on Tel to United? Napoli ready to find Garnacho breakthrough, prepare a third bid, which some sources say this could be a very large bid for Alejandro Garnacho. Maybe Napoli desperate to get the deal done. They can't get Adeyemi. They're in the title race. Garnacho's who they want, and maybe they've realised United aren't budging on the price. We've got to pay up. Could Garnacho still be on the way out? Muppeteers are giving an update on Dorgal's, Amorim's plans, a couple other transfer news stories, and more. I will round up some of that. Marcus Rashford, Ruben Amorim spoken out about Marcus Rashford and added some clarity. There is a report going around that he's close to going to Galatasaray, but that is from like a tier 5 gutter tier source, so I'm not going to report that in today's video. Some updates on the youth plan, the defensive plans, and news that Angel Gomes is open to a return. So, hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news roundup. Let's start by talking about Mathys Tel. The race for Mathys Tel is starting to heat up. Manchester United called about a loan deal, while Tottenham open to signing him permanently. Chelsea are keeping tabs, said Romano. Florian Plettenberg said that 4 Premier League teams are specifically interested in Mathys Tel. They have gathered all the information and are in contact with Tel's agent and have already reached out to Bayern, Chelsea, United, Arsenal and Tottenham. Now, he doesn't want to go to Chelsea because of the competition. He wants game time. Arsenal, I think, want to bring in someone with a bit more experience. They need someone that's ready now, hence why they dropped a 60 million bid on Watkins. Now, Arsenal aren't going to sign Watkins because Duran has gone to Saudi, but Arsenal do have a bit of money to spend with that 60 million bid that they dropped on Watkins. So I can't completely rule them out, but I think they want experience. I think they want a number nine. Manchester United are interested in the potential move for Mathys Tel should he be available to leave on loan before the January transfer windows. His preference is Man United, but Bayern may prefer to sell to Tottenham. They're willing to pay on a permanent. So what we know with Mathys Tel is Tottenham will do the deal on a permanent. We can only do the deal on loan. The player's preference is United. If he wants to go on loan, it sounds like he'll go to United. If Bayern are happy to let him go on loan, it sounds like he'll go to United, because if the best source of Tottenham information, Paul O'Keefe, he's the best source of Tottenham information, said that his preference is Manchester United over Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, that's who he wants, which means if Bayern are willing to do a loan deal, which we're going to get into, Romano says they are, for me, that says maybe he goes to United. The problem is Spurs are really pushing for this move. Tottenham are really, really pushing for this move, and they're willing to pay money. Romano said loan, but also permanent move. Both options for Mathys Tel, as reported yesterday. Bayern director Max Erbel says, yes, Mathys Tel wants to go, loan or permanent. We will assess all the options. I've rarely had so many clubs call me about a player, he added. So Romano is again saying, a lot of clubs want Mathys Tel. Bayern has said that. And he's saying that they're open to loans and permanent. So Romano is saying, well, actually, the Bayern director is saying they're open to loan deals, which says, oh, there's a possibility he can go to United, because unless Garnacho goes, we're not doing a permanent deal. Now, there's loads and loads of reports coming out as I'm making this video about Mathys Tel to Spurs by credible Spurs journalists. So Spurs are really pushing for this move. So yeah, he could go to Spurs. I don't know how it's going to move. But let's now talk about Alejandro Garnacho and the latest on that. New talks were expected in the next hours between Napoli and United for Alejandro Garnacho. Napoli are ready to submit a new bid to try and sign the winger. Now, there's quite a few reports coming out in regards to Garnacho and Napoli, it not being over, Napoli willing to come back in, Napoli sort of want to get the deal done, but they don't want to pay the 60 million. Now, I think Napoli, when they look at the market and what other players are going for, they probably might have to look at themselves and say, actually, 60 million is a very good price for Garnacho. When you look at the potential, you look at what other players are going for in the January market, and if you're in a Serie A title race and this is your number one target, then Napoli may budge and go in with that £60+ million bid. I think Garnacho will stay, because I don't think Amorim wants to lose Garnacho, because I think he knows we're limited in options until the summer in attack, and I think maybe in the summer he's open to losing Garnacho when he knows he can get a replacement in. But I think right now, with the way Amorim's speaking, I don't think he wants to lose Garnacho, because I think there's limited options. But Napoli are not out of this. Like, they have some reports in Italy saying they're ready to bid. They're ready to bid big. I don't know. It's difficult to know who to believe in Italian media, but Napoli want to find a breakthrough. They want Garnacho. Is still what's being reported. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as well. I think if Garnacho goes, then we definitely get Mathys Tel, but who knows? Now, I want to dive into a few things the United Muppeteers said on their YouTube live stream. I got this via United Red Report, so go check out United Red Report and the United Muppeteers video, good Twitter account. And now the Muppeteers, who are pretty credible source of information, said the club want a young team that has time to grow. Amorim hasn't been frustrated with anyone at the club, brackets, the hierarchy, and he knew that the finances would be tight. There's an enormous amount of admiration for Amorim within. Now, I think Amorim has been frustrated. I think Muppeteers are a good source of information, but they definitely, I think, have a little bit of generosity towards Ineos. So I think potentially they're being a bit more positive about that. I think there probably is some frustration with Amorim in the hierarchy because other reliable sources said there are. But they are saying that the club want a young team that's time to grow. You can see that with Leon, Heaven, Obi Martin, they're building for the future. They don't want to bring in old high-wage players. The media have been pretty cut off in January, apparently. They still believe Rashford will leave on loan. I think he's waiting for Barcelona, but if he doesn't go to Barcelona, he'll move to Dortmund on deadline day. Salzburg quoted too much for Dorgles, hence why we moved away for Dorgles. I think they saw Man United were coming in and probably doubled the price. And United is still assessing forwards. Garnacho leaving is becoming more unlikely as time passes. Napoli could put in this big mega bid for Garnacho, but I think the later and later we get, the closer and closer you get towards the transfer deadline, the more and more money United will want for Garnacho because they've got less time to replace him. And it was said United want to know whether they can get a loan with an option to buy for Tel. Romano is obviously tweeted out what the Bayern director said, saying essentially that United can do loan deals for Tel. So I think if we can do a loan deal for Tel and he wants to come to United, I think we win that race. But again, I think the problem with Man United is I think we're waiting for Rashford to get on loan first to bring Tel in to do the funds. Whereas Tottenham can bring him in now. There's no issues. They're really pushing on the deal. So, I think it's a race between us and Tottenham. You'd back us to beat Tottenham, particularly with Tottenham being in this sort of relegation battle as well, more than us. But Tottenham definitely have the finances for it. And he's a very, type of player that I think Tottenham would want to bring in. Can play on the left, can play in the middle. Marcus Rashford. It wouldn't be a Man United news show without Ruben Amorim being asked about Marcus Rashford. And without us talking about Marcus Rashford, it's so boring. I think the best thing of Rashford leaving is just the lack of media questions we'll get. Ruben Amorim was asked if he was disappointed in Rashford. He said, if Rashford will change, we are more than happy to have Rashford, but we have to set standards. It's not personal. Imagine a talent like Rashford. Our team should be so much better, but he has to change. If he changes, we will use a talent like Rashford, but in the moment, we have to set standards. I promise I will not give you nothing today about Rashford. I'm not giving you a little bit. It's the same thing, guys. We need goals. We need 1-against-1. We need threat in final third. Guys, what more do you need? I think that is Ruben Amorim saying, yes, Marcus Rashford's a brilliant player. Yes, I could do with Marcus Rashford in the squad. And why he's dropping Rashford isn't personal, like the media trying to make it out to be personal. He's just saying he has standards. If you don't reach those standards, you will be dropped. He's got to set an example to the rest of his side, is what Amorim's saying. I think that's a fair quote. I think the media have spun all of his other quotes and tried to make it bigger than it is. I think it is him saying, look, it's not Rashford. I want Rashford. He's good in the team, but I need to set an example of, I need to see Rashford working hard. I mean, look, surely Rashford is working hard and training now. Surely if you've been dropped for 6 weeks, you'd be doing everything in training to get back in the side, which is the bit I struggle to believe that Rashford's still being poor in training. But if he is, that's embarrassing from Rashford. In terms of other things, I want to talk about United preparing for the future. Kokonki 16, Leon 17, Heaven 18, Euro 19, and Dorgu 20. The future at United looks bright. And do you know what the mad thing about that is? Like, Dorgu could be right wing back in Amorim's system. Diego Leon could be left wing back in Amorim's system. Aiden, Heaven, and Kokonki can compete for left centre back. Euro would be the central centre back. All you need is a young right centre back to come in for the future. And United have built their backline for Amorim in 5 years' time. Who knows if Amorim will be here in 5 years' time? I mean, I hope he is. I hope it goes well. But you never know with this club. But we're building a backline, and a lot of these players really suit Amorim ball. So let's hope that it works out of Amorim and he doesn't get sacked next season. And last but not least, it was said that Angel Gomes would prefer a move back to Old Trafford before signing for Tottenham or West Ham. He's out of contract in the summer and asked his agent to keep them informed. Maybe we go for Gomes, maybe not. I like Gomes. I think it's an option available on the free to replace Eriksen. It's a good one, but I don't know if he's a dual pivot player in Amorim's system. Tidy player, nice player, who knows? But there's a lot of Premier League clubs interested in him. So we'll have to keep an eye on that closer to the summer. But listen, people, that is your 10-minute Manchester United news roundup, where I've tried to round up all the news that's come in this morning, and some that were some stories that came out late last night. God, I can't speak today. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do go ahead and hit that like button if you did. Feel free to subscribe if you're new. I'll be back with a live stream about 4 o'clock or earlier or later, depends when the breaking news comes out. I think there could be some breaking news in the next 24 hours, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Bye.